So, what if the ego was never the enemy? When we talk about the ego, it's often framed as something to overcome, to fix, to get rid of. But from an energetic perspective, that framing is incomplete. The ego was not an accident. It was a functional phase of human consciousness. In order for consciousness to become aware of itself, it needed contrast. It needed a sense of me and not me. And that distinction required separation. Because without contrast, awareness can't perceive itself. The ego provided exactly that. Through the ego, consciousness learned perspective, individuality, and self-reflection. It learned to observe itself from the inside. And its self-reflection is what made consciousness perceivable. However, the ego was never meant to be the permanent center of perception. It was a vehicle, not a destination. According to the teachings of Salvador, which were gifted to humanity by the mediumship of Christiane Hansmann, the ego experience has now served its purpose, which means that we can now complete the ego phase. And what's really important to understand is that the completion of the ego phase means integration, not elimination of the ego. When the ego is seen, honored for its role, and most importantly, no longer mistaken for the self, very important, it naturally relaxes. And in that relaxation, something new becomes possible. So, the problem is not that the ego exists. The problem is staying identified with the ego beyond its purpose. If you're ready to move into the next phase, join the movement and follow this channel. My name is Amri, and Authenticate Yourself is a space where we explore human consciousness so that you can live your life fully aligned with your core essence, your soul.